What's up everybody, John Stess-Show here and welcome back to Antique Apparatus, the magic show where I show you weird, wacky, vintage magic tricks and show you how they work. So right now, for this week's episode, I found this weird old tin thing and I'm going to show you this trick and then explain it because it's bizarre, it's interesting, it's thick and sturdy, it's an old stage prop and I think you guys are going to really like what this trick does. Alright, let's do it. Alright, Mom, guys, I'm going to show you. So, have I actually showed you this yet? No. So this is actually my, this is something from my great-grandfather that my grandma gave to me, believe it or not. So have I ever told you great-grandfather worked in a coal mine? So this is actually what they would use as a backpack, and the reason why is when you go into the coal, whenever you go into like a coal mine, there's like a lot of animals and vermin, specifically rats. So if you brought food down, they would often get to the food and they would like destroy it, so they would put it in these tins. So like this is pretty much like during the time what would have been inside, and I'll show the camera this. So inside here, you can see this. They would probably bring down like their tools, so I have some of their tools, and they have like a little bag where they put their sandwich, they keep their wallet inside, and they would even have probably like my great-grandmother would have a deck of cards, you know, play games, do magic tricks, and yeah, you can agree that's empty, right?
Totally.
Perfect. And you can see all these things are average type, whoop, don't want to drop it, but average type things, yeah, and this was fully empty. There's one other thing that was really interesting, so you probably don't know this about coal miners specifically, but the other thing they would always do is they would always bring around canaries. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I heard.
And the reason why they would bring around canaries is because if the canary would die, they would know that there's been a natural gas leak, and they would get out. So the other thing they would keep in this tin, they usually would keep their bird cage where they would actually have their bird, and they would they'd keep their bird in this, and then they would check every now and again to make sure that the bird didn't die, and that's how they would know that nothing would go wrong, and if the bird died, then they would all get out. And yeah, that's a wacky thing my grandpa.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
That is cool.
Isn't that a really cool bird cage?
That is cool. I like the bird.
Yeah, and it could have a little bird inside, but I don't own a bird.
Oh,
so.
that was totally empty.
Isn't that weird?
I know, that was cool.
Yeah, magic trick, we're gonna learn it. Here's an up-close performance. Watch the tin. First, I'm gonna produce, a plastic card, and another, and another, and another, and another. Oh, look at all these crazy cards. Oh wait, look, there's a whole fan of cards. Yeah, I'm really proud that I can do this. I spent my whole life learning this weird little trick right here, and I wanted to show it to you guys. But it's very important you can see that this tin, other than the cards that I just produced, is now fully empty. There's nothing else inside of here, and we'll close this up. Now the reason why this is so interesting is because, as you can see, my hands are empty and here's the tin. At any point I can snap and then slowly make a bird cage appear from that empty container as if by magic. We're gonna learn this right now. Alright, now it's time to learn about this tin and exactly how it works. So, this is not the most deceptive prop on video, so a lot of you may already have an idea of exactly how it works. And the way it works is that it has one side that has the container, and the bottom of this is actually a separate lid. And the bottom of this is where this bird cage actually lives, which I think is so friggin' cool, because this bird cage looks like it should take up the whole container. The way it works is a very interesting principle in magic known as black art. So this whole container is painted black, so even from the natural eye it looks super thin, when in reality this wall right here, I'll put my finger on it so you can see, it's actually very thick. It's at least like a full centimeter thick, but from a distance it looks super thin. So now this wall is actually what allows the bird cage to live because it's hollowed out. So this bottom portion of the bird cage actually slides up. So this is a retractable piece. This piece goes up and down, as you hear with that horrible noise. And when I flip this over so you can see, this is the bottom of the container, but when I insert the bird cage, that bottom part of the lid stays in place, and the rest of the prongs go all the way to the bottom of the bird cage. Except these three, because this is an old prop that's broken, these ones I have to push down manually. But that actually really helps illustrate exactly how this works. So right now, the bird cage is living in the bottom of the container, and all you have to do is remove it slow. If you remove it too fast, that little lid will stay. You have to remove it slow so that that lid goes all the way to the bottom. Also, I lied saying you can keep a bird in here in the performance. You don't keep a bird in here. But right here you can see exactly, it's got like a, maybe, I don't know, let's call this 2 inches of space. But from the front, it really looks like this goes all the way to the bottom of the container, and that this lid right here really keeps the whole thing closed. Oops, wrong lid. This lid goes here. And this lid looks like you're really touching the bottom of the container here, at least in person, and I hope in video it looks that way too. And guys, that's literally the secret. So everybody, this wraps up this episode of Antique Apparatus. Honestly, this thing is really super cool. I don't think I would ever perform it, mainly because I hate stories that aren't true. And I mean, my grandfather or great-grandfather, whatever I said in the performance, was not a coal miner. So I would never really use this, but I think the method is really clever. I love seeing a black art principle used in real life in a practical way. So I think that's really fascinating. And I really love the visual, though, of coming here after you took out a ton of stuff and then producing a full bird cage. I think it really is a very interesting idea, and I think it's a lot of fun. Plus, I think bird cages are really cool, so this is like a really fun item. And yeah, I mean, that pretty much wraps up my thoughts. I don't think I'd ever really perform this trick for like a real audience or in a show, but I'll never say never. It's possible. But yeah, if you guys liked this and like this trick, please leave a comment, like this video, and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing a new antique apparatus every single week, and let me know, what would you have said about this prop? So I use the story that my grandfather was a coal miner, but I want to know what you would have actually said. So tell me what story you would have used or what plot line. Leave it in the comments. I don't care if it's funny, if it's real, if it's bad, if it's fake. Leave it in the comments. I want to know what you guys would have said about this prop to try to make it feel more realistic to perform with. All right, everybody. I'm John Stessel. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Cheers, everybody. See you guys next week.